Pause, breathe. You're already heading in the right direction, even if you're not sure where you're going.
On Monday, I had no idea that in just a week I'd be sitting at the edge of the world, eating the best sandwich of my life and sipping coffee from a paper cup. I once read in a modern self-help book that sometimes you need to do something bold just to not lose yourself. In my case, I wasn't losing myself. I was still trying to find who I was. Some people go to the gym, others get therapy, take dance classes, start writing, drawing, or travel. I have tried it all, sometimes more than once. For example, this was my third time decided to go to the gym. Last time I only made it to reception to ask about the membership. I worked hard. I deserved a little escape. No overthinking, just movement. So by Thursday I'd ask my always traveling colleague for advice, and by Friday I had my tickets booked. On Monday morning at 7 a.m. I flew to Lisbon. Alone. Just me, a pastel pink floral backpack, and loosely planned trip that would turn out pretty perfect. My must-see list. The moment I left the metro, it felt like someone gave me an oxygen mask. I climbed towards the castle and already knew coming here was the right decision. By noon I was standing up top of Lisbon, admiring the view and awkwardly asking Stretch to take my photo. Traveling solo has many perks, but having a personal photographer isn't one of them. I wandered around the castle, then went off in search of food. I found a small cafe. The smell was questionable, but the vibe pure magic. My lunch was a potato fish cutlet and port wine. Not the tastiest, but I was joined by a peacock on the terrace. He seemed to want my meal more than I did. Here's the scene. When alcohol hits my bloodstream, I become an easy target for spontaneous purchases. That is how I ended up buying 2 paintings from a street artist. Later I realized they were just printed images, but hey, art is art. Next mission, the yellow tram. But the line... a nightmare. I'm not one to wait 2 hours just to get squished in a nostalgic vehicle that looks like the tram I used to take to work in Kyiv. So I skipped it, for now. I walked to the cathedral instead and, thanks to Google Map, found a viewpoint along the way. Another street performance was in full swing. A woman in a light pink skirt, matching my fabulous backpack, sang her soul out while a guy strummed beside her. I didn't understand the lyric, but it had to be about love. Her voice said everything. At the cathedral, I did the usual sightseeing, in and out in 13 minutes. It was beautiful, like in the photos. From there, I headed to my stay for the night. Finding the building was an adventure in itself. I passed it twice, unsure if it was mine. Eventually, Google Maps won. The apartment was okay for one night. A bit strange, though there was a glass door storage room with 4 lonely plants and varied smell. I chose to pretend the owner just really loves plants. After settling in, I still had a yellow tram in my mind. I mapped out route, but halfway there I got distracted. By wine, of course. A glass of chilled Chardonnay off a terrace as the sun set? Yes, please. The bus dropped me near a fair. The smell of grilled meat led me to sausage and local drink. I sat down next to the strangers and was soon joined by Noe, a lovely Canadian woman traveling solo. She introduced me to cherry liqueur served in little chocolate cups. We toasted, laughed, took a photo, and parted ways. This time I finally caught the tram. Only 13 minutes of waiting, and I was gliding through the Lisbon glowing street. Wind in my hair, music in my ears. I felt free, happy. By the time I realized I'd gone too far, I hopped off and took the tram back. Near the stop, a kiosk with sangria and stunning view. Of course, I had to try it. If you think I drank too much, well, maybe. But one of the best parts of solo travel, you answer only to yourself. Just stay balanced. Be the mysterious woman, not the wild empress. Almost home. I passed a cozy terrace bar and thought, one last cocktail, served in a pineapple. Yes, that is when I heard music. Inside was a glowing red room, a small stage, 2 guitarists, and then she walked in, a queen in black dress, heels. Her voice was pure Portuguese passion. I ordered a dessert, beautiful to look at, horrible to taste, like every crush I have ever had. As the night ended, I sat alone at a large table, sipping my drink, strawberries with cream in front of me. Handsome waiter asked why I was alone. Hey, because I can be. I left around 11. Back in bed, I could still hear the singer voice echoing through the Lisbon night.